the home of British motorsport. Welcome to Silverstone. Welcome to Silverstone. So race number 3 for the Caterham graduates and race number 2 for me and the other people in the trophy series this year. And we've got a busy couple of days ahead of us. So today is test day. Now there are 4 test sessions. However, I've split the test day with another driver, Charlie Cahill, kindly split his test day with me. So we're taking 2 sessions each. But to be fair, that's quite a lot of time. It's a 45-minute session this morning and a 30-minute session this afternoon. So plenty of time in the car. And then tomorrow I kick off the day with a 20-minute practice, 20 minutes qualifying, and then 2 races, 25 minutes and 30 minutes. So lots of track action tomorrow. All of that will have been live streamed. So I'm going to put a link in the description below so you can go ahead and watch the whole of the live stream and enjoy the racing from all the different series of Caterham graduates. I have driven the Silverstone Grand Prix circuit just once before. In fact, it was my first ever track day. I'd bought a Lotus Elise from Lotus Silverstone, and as part of it they threw in a track day. So I come along on the GP circuit track day, and at that time I was going around in over 4 minutes. Today I'm hoping to be going around in well under 3. So in terms of the relevance and the currency of that track day, I'm not too sure. Really, I'm learning afresh. So I've put lots of time in on the simulator for that. So we're having all of our racing on Saturday, and there's a good reason for that. On Sunday, the Citroen C1s are having a 24-hour endurance race here at Silverstone, and I'd like to say hi and good luck to Stuart Simmons. So I've been asked to show the differences between the Academy car and this year's Caterham Graduate Sigma 135 car, and I thought that's a great idea. So let me give you a walk around for the differences that I've made. First of all, from the front, you notice the number plate's gone and the headlights are removed. You will see that I can put them back on for road use, and I've done a video with a how-to. I'll put a link to it above. So that's the first one. The other one that's less noticeable is you can run the green, the stiffest anti-roll bar on the front. Now, a couple of changes around the front that I've not made, which you can move to wide track front suspension. Purely due to budget, I've kept it as narrow track, and also because the tyres are a lower profile, you can have lower wing stays. So I've actually got those bought, but I don't have the tyres. I still use the Academy tyre from the road, so I've got quite a big gap there. Moving round, the noticeable thing here is the windscreen has gone and replaced with the aero screen. And I've moved to Spa style mirrors, and the mirrors that are mounted onto the roll cage. The doors are gone and replaced with these half doors. These are classic carbon fiberglass doors, a lot cheaper than the Caterham part. They look a lot smarter as well, in my opinion. Changes that you cannot see is the uprated brake master cylinder and uprated brake pads front and rear. That really does transform the whole feel of the brakes. Moving around the back, the thing that makes the biggest difference is the addition of the rear anti-roll bar. You can't see that there, but I've got a video with how I added that in. And then the rear lights are removed and replaced with these high-level brake lights. These were bought from Just Add Lightness, available in a twin pack there. Great for on the road as well. Inside the car, not mandatory, but I've added the shift lights and race sense, and that's available from Fastmate Racing. The shift lights really are great on track, and the race sense just gives me that extra data in my telemetry, so I can see when I'm on the brakes and when I'm on the throttle and by how much. The final change, and a real notable one, is the addition of these fantastic Yokohama tyres. That really does transform the amount of grip offered up on a dry track, not so much in the wet. I hope you found that useful. And there we go, the test day is done, and what a wonderful test day I have had today. It's been super chilled. I've been in the paddock with my friends, and my car has been out on the home of British motorsport, out on Silverstone Grand Prix circuit. Just 2 sessions today, so I split the day with Charlie, and there's something to be said for that. It's been less frantic. I've been able to spend more time looking at my data in between sessions, and I've achieved what I've wanted to achieve from today. I've done a lot of work on the simulator. And today I've been able to take that out onto the track and bring it to life. And that I've done. For me to progress any further, I'd need proper quality time on track with a driver coach to really find those, the extra time. For tomorrow, I'm not expecting miracles. I'm here, I'm at Silverstone, I'm racing on the GP circuit. So I'm going to go and enjoy it. Let's see what the day brings. Now, here's a good spot from Derek. At the end of the day, we were preparing the car ahead of tomorrow morning's early practice session, and Derek spotted that the inlet solenoid had snapped. So there would have been a slight drop in performance. Now that will have happened when I had my crash at Oldland Park in qualifying. So my engine will have been down a small amount of power. I've been pulling people's legs in the paddock, saying it'd been down 20 or 30 horsepower, it's nothing like that. But it would have been down a small amount. So that's nice. Chris from Redline, he had the part right there. We had it swapped over in minutes. So that's sorted for tomorrow as well. So hopefully look forward to a small improvement in performance as well. So well done, Derek, and thank you, Chris from Redline. Problem solved. Just about every Caterham and Lotus 7 owner would know about Chris Mintoff from Redline Components. Chris has exceptional knowledge of 7s of all ages and allows owners to keep their cars on the road. Well, Redline have now gone mobile. Chris has created this fantastic mobile shop. This, along with a van full of parts, allows all the drivers and the teams to keep the cars on the track throughout the race weekend. As you can see, just about anything you could wish for to keep a race car on the track. DD-on tubes, drive shafts, silencers and much more. Chris, it's brilliant to see you in the paddock, and thank you for your help at both Oldland Park and Silverstone, where Redline helped keep my car on track. Good morning and welcome to race day. I've come down to the Brooklands corner to talk with you this morning, and as you can see, the weather is fair. Now at 5 AM there was a small amount of rain on the tent. I thought, oh really, surely not rain. It was a lot worse sounding on the tent than in reality. It's still beautifully dry. We've got this cloud cover and that might give us a little bit of rain during the day, but I'll be surprised if it's enough to disrupt the racing in any significant way at all. But we'll worry about that as the day goes on. Now, good news. COVID regulations have meant we can do a few more things to welcome people back to the circuits this year. And I'll start off, my wife will be on her way shortly, along with the family of Abby and Brandon. They're on their way and they're going to join me in the paddock today. It's the first time they've been able to come to the race events, so that'd be great. Also, Caterham graduates are able to welcome some of our sponsors and also some of the charities we support along to Silverstone today, so I'm really looking forward to being able to catch up with many throughout the day. And finally, a guy called Connor that I'm really hoping to catch up with today, somebody that we've spoken with lots over social media. He's making the effort to come along and watch me race today, so hopefully we can get to see each other throughout the day, Connor. So thank you for making the effort to come. Now, what are my expectations of the day? Now, the car, I will tell you this, is handling brilliantly. It feels great. That car was doing every single thing I wanted it to do on the circuit yesterday. So unfortunately, the excuse book is rather thin today. It's down to me. So the limited amount of track time is obviously going to have some sort of compromise, but that's okay. If I can get into that mid-pack, that for me today is the result. That's the target I'm going for, and believe me, that really will be a result. So to give you some idea, there's about 10 seconds at the moment between my time and the very best guy's time. That's an ocean. Now it is a big lap, but that's a huge amount of time. So I've got a practice session this morning. We've also got the qualifying I can use to continue to refine. I've already agreed with another driver. We're going to go out on the practice laps, buddy up a little bit, see if we can actually help each other along. He's hugely experienced on this track, so I'm hoping to learn a lot more from him. And believe me, in 20 minutes, even though that might be 6-7 laps, I can learn a lot. So there's the target and the expectations, but something more than anything, and I had this feeling yesterday. You're driving around Silverstone, the absolute home of British motorsport, and I cannot tell you how special that feels. So to be going wheel to wheel, racing on this circuit, I'm a very lucky guy, and I appreciate it, and thank you for following to help me make this possible. So it's now lunchtime, first 2 sessions done. I had the 20 minutes practice, which went really well. Set down some of my best times, actually my best times around here, so that's good. Consolidated up some of the learning from testing. There's a few things I wanted to try in different corners, so it's nice to try that. And then in qualification, we'd agreed that myself and Zed, another driver, we would work together in quali. And we've done that. It's the first time I've ever worked with another driver in qualifying. And Zed is somewhat of an expert around this circuit. He's driven Silverstone several hundreds of times, if not more. He would tend to enter the Burkitt race. If you're not familiar with the Burkitt, check it out. It's a 6-hour mixed class endurance race, absolutely superb. So anyway, the conclusion of that is I've qualied third from the back. So I've left myself quite a lot to do in this afternoon's race. Now, I've got a special guest with me. This is Charlotte. And I've raced with Charlotte's dad in last year's Academy series, and he's racing this year in Caterham Motorsport and here in the grads as well. And her dad's Michael Koo, but this is Charlotte Koo, and you watch all my videos?
Yeah.
And there we go, special mention. So you be cheering for your dad?
Yeah.
And a little bit for me today?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're here. We're actually up on the corner, the first corner of the lap, so you get to see us on our way into the Beckett's and Maggots complex. So thanks for coming and supporting this beautiful today as well, isn't it? Thanks, Charlotte. So this afternoon's race, first race, is a 25-minute race, a long race, and it won't be won, but it could be lost in those first few corners. So lessons learned from Alton Park, I need to get more revs for a quicker getaway. That's in the plan. But then I'm going to let everything, the plan is at least, to let everything settle down in front of me, and then work my way back up through those places. If I can finish mid-pack, I would be like properly thrilled. That was the target for today, is to finish mid-pack. That's the aim. I'm not ruling it out just yet, but I do have a lot to do. The top thing is what a gorgeous day it is today. It is absolutely stunning. The family's arrived, the paddock is feeling kind of like normal. What more could you want? Well, that mid-pack finish, that's what I want, but it's fantastic. I'll include highlights of both races in this video. However, I've published the full races on YouTube, and I'll pop a link in the description and also on the link on the screen right now. Here I am back on 32nd place on the grid. We had a split grid with the Sigmax class, so actually there's about 50 cars ahead of me. The Sigmax class left the grid when the lights extinguished, and my class, the 135s, left on the drop of the Union flag. Now, the problem was I could not see the flag from my location. The Union flag was dropped from the starting gantry. Now that is out of sight from what I can see, so I had to be absolutely sure the race had started before I could move off of my position. I've got the car underway well. As you can see, those extra revs really helping getting the car in motion and getting good traction. Through Cops, I've got Aki there and Stu Hatzel just to my left. We approach Maggots and Beckett's for the first time. I managed to get a slightly better drive into Maggots. Myself and Stu Hatzel very familiar with racing and sharing track with one another. Down the hanger straight you get a huge toe effect, so much that with a toe you would change up into fifth. I got myself a little bit out of sorts here and changed down to third going into Stowe, and Stowe is a fourth gear corner. That hesitation allowed the revs to bog down when I eventually made it back to fourth. This allowed Stu Hatzel to pull up along my outside initially as I come into Vale, but then Craig Atkins ultimately taking the inside line and a place for me into Vale. Here you see myself and Craig leaving a car's width for each other as we move through Vale and Club. Craig does win the battle and takes the place. As I approach Brooklands, I can see the yellow flags waving and several cars across the circuit. I safely picked my way through the debris, but it's really tough when you see your friends and fellow drivers in accidents like this. Here I am again, heading through the Maggots and Beckett's complex, this time behind Michael Segal. A good exit from Beckett's allowed me to initially tuck up behind Michael and then alongside him. You can see as soon as I come out from behind Michael's car, you lose that toe effect. I then made slow progress past Michael and into Stowe. Due to the accident at Brooklands, the race was red flagged and we returned to the grid. We were lined back up in our initial grid position, so I had it all to do again. Again, another decent start. I got the traction down well and off the line. Some bits flying as we approach Copse. Again, good pace for me through Maggots and Beckett's, and onto the hang straight. I made it past Craig Atkins. Just about close enough to pick up that important slipstream from Stu Hatzel. Through Stowe and then on our way down to Vell. Vell is one of the 3 heavy brakes on this circuit. While it is an overtaken opportunity, it is a tricky corner and it becomes very narrow very quickly. Myself and Stu Hatzel working with each other through Vell and through Club, leaving each other that car's width of space we need. I was able to carry good speed through Abbey and Farm, both really quick corners, well over 90 miles an hour, nearly 100 miles an hour there. I was really pleased that I was able to keep up and in some cases even outperform cars with the wide track front suspension, which gives the car much more front end grip. As we make our way through the loop, I lost that place back to Stu Hatzel. Again heading into Maggots and Beckett's, carrying good speed again through these fast corners. This time the target is Chris, and I managed to get a good exit onto the hanger straight and make my way past. Again racing with Stu Hatzel as we come into Village. Good exit as we head down towards Brooklands. I managed to pick up the slipstream of Stu Hatzel. Moving out to see if I can make a move on Stu, but the rules are if you're not wheel to wheel by turning point, it's not your corner. Stu going in a little bit deep allowed me to have half a look around Luffield. Sometimes when you make an attacking move and it doesn't pay off, you end up moving backwards, and this was the case here. I just couldn't get any traction down on the outside of Luffield and losing a little bit of ground now to Stu. Here I am coming through Copse. Now this is a corner I've been going really well on, but not on this occasion, getting the line slightly wrong, and Aki doing really well to take advantage and get his car up the inside on the way into Maggots. I picked up the power and got a good drive through the second part of the complex, but Aki wasn't quite as quick as me, so I had to back out of it. This is a really bad idea. If you're slow out of Beckett, it's going to cost you all the way down the Hangar Straight. Here comes Zed and Craig Atkins. This did leave us with a four-way battle all the way now to the finish line. We are coming through Cops again, less than a second dividing all four of us. Around the game, making good progress into Maggots and around Craig Atkins. Onto the Hangar Straight and picking up a good tow from Zed. Moving out, however Zed's also got Aki's tow, so I can't make ground on Zed. Both Zed and Aki a little bit quick into Stowe. I have to lift and I lose some of my momentum, and here comes Craig Atkins into Vale. Going through Maggots and Beckett's really quick again. I get ahead of Zed onto the Hangar Straight, however he is there on my right hand side. Make our way into Stowe side by side, so I'm leaving Zed at least a car's width of room on the inside. Zed picks up a better drive out of Stowe and heads down to Vale. Here we are working together to make our way again around Vale, both aware of where each other are and leaving each other the space we need. Picking up a tow along the Hamilton Straight, moving out. I know I'm quick through Abbey and through Farm, so I make my way once more past Zed, leaving a car's width of room. Down into Village, and Zed makes his way past. Is he going to outbrake himself? Maybe slightly, but he's got the inside line for the left-hand loop. A little bit hot there. Can I capitalise on it? I initially make my way past Zed, but he's picked up the pace really well, and he's still on the outside, again leaving a car's width for Zed on the right hand side. Heading down into Brooklyn, Zed picks up the inside line, and now it's a dash to the finish line. Picking up a tow, is it enough? If the flag had just been a little bit further along, who knows? Lovely clean racing, Zed. That was excellent. Well done. So there's the first of the 2 races done. Finished in 26th, so well short of the 15th place I'd set myself as a target, and it really was a big race. So there was quite a collision further up the grid. Best wishes to the drivers and the cars for that. It's never nice to see, but the race was red flagged and we were re-gridded, which was a shame because in the first start I'd made quite a few places, and then when you get restarted it's either back from the original positions or wound back. Well, whichever it was, I ended up moving back several places, so I had it all to do again. Anyway, that really didn't matter at all because I ended up in a pack of 4 cars and we had an amazing race between ourselves. We were swapping places all over the place and a run to the line, and Zed just beat me, I think by probably a couple of attempts. I'll need to check on the timing sheet, but we crossed the line together, and I'm okay with that because some of these guys, they've had lots of experience on this track. I'd done literally 20 odd laps before heading to the grid, so I think I can be proud of that. So it's only a very short break now, and then I'll be getting back into the car for race number 2. And another decent start for me, getting the car hooked up and nicely down the start finish straight. Everybody cleanly through cops. Making our way for the first time into Maggots. Again, you can see the pace I've got going through there and catching the back of Chris fairly rapidly. Can I get the car tucked up in the slipstream of Chris and make a move down the hanger straight? Just check out how the car gets sucked along and it makes the pass look so easy. Gather the car together and bring it nicely into stow. Tricky corner. As we come into Vale, I'm defending the inside, but Chris does a real nice move around the outside of Vale. Let me tuck my car back up into Chris's slipstream, see if I can make anything happen along the Hamilton Straight and into Abbey. With good pace through Abbey and into Farm, I make my way around the outside of Chris, but he's not giving up this one and he stays to the outside and around the outside of Village. Now can I pick up a slipstream on my way down to Brooklands? Tucked right up behind Chris there and make my way past him into Brooklands. Just dancing the car into the apex on the brakes. What an exciting start to this race. Through cops, you recognise these cars from race 1. Aki immediately in front of me and then Zed in front of him. Got a car returning onto the track there at Beckett's. Chris taking advantage of my slight hesitation and making his way through. myself tucked back up in the slipstream along the Hanger Straight. And make my way past him once again into Stowe. Aki there doing really well to stay ahead. At the front of this train we can see Michael Koo and Stu having an incredible battle, and let me tell you, that carried on all the way to the finish line. A little bit out of shape for me from Luffield. Chris soon to take advantage, and through he comes. Chris taking the defensive line into Copse, however that's going to narrow his entry and reduce his corner speed. I'm able to take advantage as we head down to Maggots and Beckett's. Fighting with Chris has allowed the train in front to get ahead and break the tow from me. However, Zed and Aki head into Stowe. They outbrake themselves and both spin. I need to pick my way through. Both of the guys done really well to stay on the brakes, making it predictable to pick a line. For Aki in particular, it would have been very easy for his car to have come back onto track there, so well done, Aki. Chris showing his nose again there as we head into Vale. We can see Stu and Michael Koo having a race, but too far from me. They've dropped me from their tow. It was a very lonely race for me from this point, with no real opportunity to close the gap to the cars in front. I managed my pace to make sure I didn't take any unnecessary risks, to make sure I didn't lose any places. And the checkered flag there signals the end of the race. On the warm down lap, one of my favourite moments in motorsport so far, heading down the Hamilton Straight with the wing to one side and seeing Michael Koo in front of me, just pulled alongside, had a little wave and had a moment. Whilst I was really looking forward to driving at Silverstone, I wasn't quite sure what to expect. What I'll tell you now, it's been my most favourite weekend of racing so far. At this stage of the season, I thought it'd be nice to show you the trophy championship table, and there I am sitting there in 5th place. And there we go, there is the end of the Silverstone weekend, and what a terrific weekend it's truly been. The second race, another great race, didn't really finish too high, 25th, made a few places and had some brilliant battles. So in particular, it was great to see one of my academy buddies, Chris Griffith, on the track, and what a race we had. It was superb. We were back and forth. I really do hope you've enjoyed the video. Please do give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already, but also please do take a look at the Caterham Graduates Racing Club channel. There's lots of content on there, some of it from myself and some that they've produced, so go and take a look at that one too. See you next time.